Hey everybody, Matt Cribbs here. Welcome to another Wednesday morning drive. Little rainy today, also have a different angle on me. Not sure if this works well or not. Give it a try. Why not? Change is good. Change happens. So hope everyone's doing well. I'm doing really good. It's a good day. So one thing logistically, well, not logistically, but one thing I want to get out of the way, you know I love you guys. Thank you so much for all the support. I'm getting close to my my mid-year 2015 goal, which was to have 500 subscribers. Little bit behind schedule on that one, but hey, I moved and did a lot of other things that I wasn't planning on doing, so that's okay. But wanted to put it out there, help me out, make me reach that. I got some big plans for when I hit that. I got things I've been working on for the channel, some rebranding that I want to do that I think is really cool, but I want to hit that milestone before I release it. So I think I was at 437 last time I checked. I was at 440 before that, so my numbers are actually going down, which is the way they shouldn't be going. We went up, not down. Yeah, those will be going, and you guys are looking at my nose today, aren't you? I don't know if this is better or not. Anyway, so help me out, spread the word, let's get people going. I'm going to be doing big pushes, and we'll see if we can make that milestone. So awesome. Other news, other things that are going on, and actually what I want to talk about today. One is going to be helping you get a little view that is not directly up my nose. There! Better, isn't it? I think so. As you know, I've been working really hard at work, getting a project done, and it had been taking up a lot of time, and a lot of things going on. And when you get so busy working on one thing, you kind of, other things fall by the wayside. Other things you can't necessarily do what you need to do. So my life was getting kind of sloppy around the edges. I wasn't feeling as put together and as relaxed and organized as I normally am. But that's done now. So I've actually spent the past week doing a lot of recentering, doing a lot of organization, doing a lot of cleanup, and I think that's really important. It's really important to kind of know where things are and know how your workspaces, be it a physical workshop or your desk or your room or your even your bag, or your digital workspace, your where you put your files, how you organize your desktop, all those things. I think it's really important that you're comfortable in that space. And if you know Adam Savage from Mythbusters, and if you ever listen to some of the stuff he does with the Tested channel, you'll see that one of the things he talks about a lot is first order retrievability. Well, he talks about organizing his stuff all the time, and the guy has budget that I certainly don't have, and so he has all sorts of tools and containers for tools and stands and ways he organizes things, and it's all really cool if you like that kind of stuff, and I do like that kind of stuff. But one of the things that he has is his first order retrievability, and that's if you have something that you use a lot and that you need, it should be immediately available. So you should be able to just reach out and grab it and get it and do what you want. And so if you have to move things around, if you have a bunch of stuff in a drawer, you might call that organized. But if you have to then open that drawer and sort around for things to find it, if you have a bunch of files in a folder on your desktop and you have to find the right one, that's not really findable. That's not as good as just saying, this is where it goes, it's right there, and finding it and knowing where it is. As soon as you just instinctively reach out and grab it, you can get it. And I think that's something that's really hard to do, but a goal we should all strive for and find. And so I've been spending a lot of time doing that. It was funny, actually, as I started to record this episode, I looked at the amount of space I had on my phone and realized that it's all cluttered with files, and there's like leftover files from the previous Wednesday morning drives I've done that I never had to delete, and so I actually had to clean up the phone a little bit at traffic lights while I was waiting, before I could actually even record this. So if you can see out the window, which today I don't think you can, because of the angle and also the fact that it's all rainy, you'll probably, you would see the scenery that you normally see at the end kind of going by now, if you pay attention to that. I always wonder how many people look out the window when I'm doing these things. But anyway, so, you know, I've been doing a lot of that, and I think, you know, I've, over the years, have a lot of ways I do it. Particularly, you know, I'm a programmer, as you know. I make these videos. I do a lot of my work, and a lot of my workspace is my computer. So I've spent a lot of time, and I have 2 computers that I use, well, 3 if you count my phone, but I have my laptop that I use for work and is always with me. I have my phone, and I have my desktop that I do, you know, it's more powerful. Well, in theory, it's more powerful than my laptop. Currently, my laptop's newer, so it's more powerful. I need to get a new computer. But you know, I spend a lot of time getting that working, and I use Dropbox, and I sync a lot of stuff. And if you're on Mac, which I am, and Windows, I believe you can do it too, there's a little trick where you can use a symbolic link, which is just a pointer, a special kind in Unix and Windows, a special kind of like little pointer file on your computer that says, hey, this folder or this file is actually really over here. It's not where you think it is, but just go over here to find your stuff. And if you use that, you can put a lot of things that have to live outside of Dropbox, like settings folders and things like that. You can actually use those symbolic links to put them in Dropbox. And it will be where the programs expect them to be. They'll work, everything will be fine, but you just replace it with that little pointer, and the actual files live in Dropbox, which means, like, you know, everything, whether the program is made for it or not, my settings are always in sync between, you know, all my different computing platforms, which is awesome. You know, then set it up once, you get it done, and it works. It's something I, you know, really spend a lot of time figuring out how to do it, and do it. If you have multiple computers, definitely do it. It's a life changer. But the other thing I have is that I kind of set up a multi-tier retrieval system that's kind of based on this, you know, notion of first order retrieval that Adam Savage talks about. He talks about it from a physical space, but the same applies in digital. And so I have a set of folder structures that I use. You know, rule number 1, I do not store crap on my desktop. If you look at my desktop on my computer, it has 0 icons on it. Maybe if I am going to, you know, unzip a file and then put it somewhere else, I will do that on the desktop. But otherwise, that is not where I store things. I have, you know, for incoming things, there's the downloads folder. That's where, kind of treat that as my inbox. All files that I get kind of go in there first for, you know, that I download. They go in there first for dispatching to other places. The next order of where I put things is a thing called the shelf. And it's just a folder. I have it in my dock. I have it immediately available at all times. And it's just the shelf. And it's where it's kind of what people would use as their desktop for. It's where I put files that I'm immediately accessing, like right now or today, or doing things with actively. And that's where those things go. And I clean that up religiously. I clean it up at the end of every day. When I'm done with things, I put it away. Like, that is the place where my work gets done. It's kind of like that. That's where, if I need a file that I want to have, that I'm working on, it's kind of like my workbench. Maybe I should rename it to workbench. It's my working surface. That's actually I just had a good idea. So it's my working surface. And then one level down from shelf is a folder that I call projects. And that is, it's kind of like the side of the desk. It's where I put all the files for the projects that I'm working on actively. So things that are ongoing on that. Like I have a folder in there for my thumbnails for the series that I'm making currently. I have a folder for, you know, my work projects and the documents there, and everything goes into there. Below that is archive. So I have, you know, shelf, what am I doing right now? Active or projects, what am I doing, you know, what is live, what is living, and then after that is archive. And after something goes in off the shelf, it goes into the archive, and that lives, you know, files. I have a file server, a QNAP NAS, which also just got back because it had broke, and needed, all I did was move it, I swear, but something happened. So they fixed it up, it's all working, but when I got it back, I had to reorganize it all. So another thing that I've been doing with organization, which is why it's so on my mind right now. But files go to there, pictures, raw files from my camera go on there. Pictures that are not, actually I just shove in Google Photos, because those need to have, you know, those I share a lot. My family and friends want to see those, so that's it's a good place to put those. And then reference materials like links and stuff. I use Microsoft OneNote. I used to use Evernote, but Evernote actually, at the size of a notebooks that I have, it was taking, you know, sometimes 8 to 10 minutes to open up. I have a big Evernote archive. And so they go into there. And I use things like, you know, I have little things like if I have files for something that relates to Evernote, I have little labels so I know where to point them to each other so things don't get lost. But, you know, it's not very formal. It's just saying, hey, look over here for this thing. So, you know, that's kind of the thing. Like right now, active, and then archive. And that's really about it as far as levels go. Archive is a little weird because depending on the type, it has different places, but you know, it works. It works for what I do. And then, you know, within that, the other key, I think, the other big key that I use for organizing and for actually getting this organization done is that my folder structures and everything under there are not very deep. You know, I don't have a lot of stuff for projects and, you know, this project and this client or this project and then this phase, and I don't use a lot of folders and subfolders and try and file things away and put them in the right spot and get all that going, because, you know, that's just a lot of work. It's just hard. So I don't have a very deep folder hierarchy to do that, and I haven't planned out any hierarchy. I just kind of do what makes sense. Usually I have like thumbnails, and I put those in a place there, and so I know where it is. And then as I find things, I say, where can I put it? And I put it the first place I think of that it would belong. And because usually when I'm looking for it again, that's the first place I'm gonna think of when I wanna find it. So I kind of like organize it by, you know, instinct and where things feel. And then as I need it later, I'll put it there. And then as I find, either I'm trying to put something away and I find there's no good place to do it, if I can't, like, where does this fit? Or as I'm looking for something and I don't find it on the first try and I think it's going to be somewhere else, I just move things around and I kind of change it, and I'll add folders and I'll take folders away and I'll change the layout and I'll just move things around, kind of. Hey guys, I'm back. What was I saying about my phone getting full? Yep, it filled up, so it cut me off in the middle of the sentence. But, you know, as I was saying, I just kind of let it grow organically over time, the organization scheme, and don't try to build a big scaffolding at the beginning, because that's just never going to work, you know. And that's basically what I do. That's my organization secret. It works really well for me. It's not really secrets. It's just kind of, you know, keep a few principles in mind, you know, make things where they're, it's kind of like put things where they feel like they should live. And anyway, so hope that was interesting. I hope you have a great day. I'm about out of time again. I will see you, talk to you next time. Got some good stuff coming up. A lot of cool series I'm working on. I put some teasers out there. And don't forget, help me get to 500, because a lot of cool stuff there. Maybe I'll put some teasers out. So until later, enjoy. Bye.